Good afternoon. 3 fun weeks ahead. We get to be in the PAV every week. Also have to fly every week, but split road trips, kind of 3 in a row, kind of interesting for us. So excited about both aspects of that. Going to play some great teams on the road, which is something you got to be really prepared for in December. Unless you're one of the top seeds, you're going to have to get really comfortable in those spaces, and then getting to play back in the PAV 3 weeks in a row. So pretty excited about that. Tough weekend against the Pacific Northwest schools. Excellent, as I expected, in different ways. Certainly Washington physical, serving and blocking, and Oregon, offensively really clean and put a lot of pressure on us. So bit of a reset, and no better thing to reset against than playing on the road against one of the best teams in the country. So I like the opportunity for us to have to make some high-level plays at the service line, in receive, and attacking. I think with the right mindset, you're going to come out of that match better, and that's kind of what we're looking for here. So a couple good days of practice, and then we'll hit the road tomorrow. So.
Blocking has been a huge part of this season, but it kind of broke down against Oregon. How are you kind of going to reset against Nebraska, especially with they're like always in system essentially?
Yeah, good question. The thing I tried to convey to the athletes during the Oregon match is you're either applying pressure or you're feeling pressure in a volleyball game. And so as you fail to apply pressure, right, then you're going to feel it on the reciprocating side, and things can kind of spiral out of control. And that kind of happened with Oregon. We didn't serve very aggressive. We didn't attack in ways that put pressure on their setters. And so therefore, you're going to feel it on the back end. And so trying to get them to understand that concept, serve with a little bit more pace, understand how to apply pressure. That way they're not under so much duress. But there's just small windows of success against Nebraska. I think it simulates the tournament where you need to hit a serve to a certain zone in a certain row, and anything else is not success. You've got to hit a certain point of weakness with a high degree of accuracy, and if you don't, then it's going to be tough. That kind of constraint can make you better if you handle it right. So we're kind of getting ready, already started that process of showing them what those small windows of success are and challenging them to do it over and over again. So I like that aspect of it.
When you come off a couple of matches like that, is there a way to make sure that the confidence for the team is not fractured, or that they're feeling good, somehow confident going into this one?
Yeah, confidence and feeling. I think what I told them is just it's such a tight-knit group that if we lose if one player loses one skill that they're known for, then it puts a lot of pressure on a teammate to pick it up. And if 2 or 3 people lose 1 or 2 skills, all of a sudden it cascades pretty quickly. And so we've seen some consistent performances, right? Julia Hanson continues to do what she does consistently. Phoebe continues to do a really nice job on both sides of the ball. But just too much of one day someone's serve is gone, and one day someone's best swing is gone, and just trying to get them to understand, it's a good thing that they have an effect on each other, but little things matter a lot to this group.
How do you get all those pieces to kind of come together at the same time?
Yeah, you coach, and hopefully that they're really into the practice period, and you're really trying to be really efficient with where you're spending your time, right? We're in November now. Practices are shorter, bodies are tired, and so we've asked them to just do less things better, just reduce the number of things that are going on in their life, narrow it to being a student and athlete. We're narrowing a little bit of what we're asking them to do on the court to the things that are most essential, and just trying to hammer in those spaces. Yeah.
Melanie talked about maybe a sense of urgency for her, and she reiterated that to the team. I mean, obviously, I think there was at that point last year where there's a little bit of, okay, some of these gals are not going to be back. Let's do it for them.
Yeah.
You get a sense of maybe that people will want to do it for her, play it a little bit differently.
I always worry about them trying to do that too much, right? Like they care about each other, and you can kind of screw it up trying to not lose it for a teammate or lose it for a coach, and so that can be challenging, right? I thought the Washington match was pretty challenging for us in that sense, and I knew they were giving their best effort, but maybe not totally focused on what they need to be focused on. So I just told them on the other end at the end of the deal, there's a lot of gratitude. When you're coming into the program, there's a ton of enthusiasm, and the middle's kind of messy. And be really good in the middle, because make it matter before it matters. I think it'll probably dawn as we get to these last weeks that Melanie's coming to the end of a long journey, or at least a checkpoint. And I can't imagine anyone not playing with a high degree of urgency for her. Yeah.
What do you see from Nebraska?
Improvement, probably the biggest thing. Pretty elite in serve receive. Like I said, only small windows of success to kind of wear on them in serve receive. Those things stand out to me. Playing really clean, not missing a lot of serves, not hitting a bunch of balls out of bounds, and just that kind of invisible pressure of keeping the ball off the floor and in play, right? And that's kind of the challenge. Can you apply pressure cleanly against them and stay with them in that sense and keep it close? So yeah, that's mostly what I see.
Not to look ahead, but Michigan, you already played them. It's a chance to obviously come back here and home fans try to get a win
Yeah.
after those couple losses here.
Yeah, 3 home matches, 3 weeks in a row. Again, trying to leave a good last impression, right? We're kind of in that phase. Community's been incredible. Crowd's been incredible. Every match, just the entire year, just so impressive to be a part of. And so trying to get our group to kind of play for the community in that sense and play hard. Michigan is going to be as good as they were the first time, I think. And if they're any healthier, it'll be an even bigger challenge. But, yeah, we did a nice job on the road there, and we got to do it again on Sunday.
What was working for you when you went to Ann Arbor?
Yeah, what was working? I thought Melanie was pretty great just in distributing the offense and moving the ball around. And we were good late in some sets, I thought, where there were opportunities to kind of fold and serve receive and not execute. And we just looked calm and did the things that we're supposed to do. It just would have been easy to drop sets to a team like that who could do some nice things. And I thought we were really composed in some moments that mattered, which is something I was expecting. But we saw in the Washington match, we were ahead in that second set, a box score that was pretty dominant, but lost some of the wrong points, right, in some key moments. And so kind of surprised me. But, yeah, we're onward.
Anything else for Keegan?
Okay, see you guys.
Thank you. There's 2 big matches at home. I know you guys lost those, but what did you learn from that? And then talk about the atmosphere.
Yeah, the atmosphere for both games was incredible. It always is here at the PAV. We learned a lot those 2 matches. Obviously, we know Oregon and Washington are 2 great teams, but we're trying not to look in the past because we can't really change it, but how can we better ourselves and get ready for this big match against Nebraska?
You guys had a streak going into those matches. Was there anything, during that streak that obviously you're not overlooking anybody, but that you could build on, past the 2 losses?
Yeah,
How are you
I
playing
think.
during that streak?
Yeah, I even in those 2 matches that we lost, like there's a lot of stuff that we did good and a lot of things that we learned and we grew a lot as a team and we just fell short. This week we're working a lot on serve receive and serving and just how we can build our team chemistry on the court because we know Nebraska is going to be a very hard game and also the atmosphere at Nebraska is crazy and their fans are awesome.
What makes the atmosphere of the Bob so special?
Yeah, I think all their fans just really love volleyball, and it's like they're just there to have a good time and watch some great volleyball. So no matter what happens, like it's going to be loud and it's going to be awesome in there.
What do you take away from having played Michigan once already?
Yeah, I mean, now we get to play them at home, and the first time we played them obviously went well, so we're hoping to repeat that and be a better team the second time.
What was working for you in Ann Arbor?
Yeah, I think everything. Honestly, we played very well as a team, and we spread the ball out all across the front row, so it was just great.
What kind of style is Nebraska, kind of what they always are in terms of what you expect to see from them?
Yeah, they're just very competitive. They're a great team. They have some of the most athletic people, and so we're just going to go in, play our volleyball, and show them what we can do. Because we have competed against the top teams in the country, and we know that we can beat them, and we know that it's what happens on our side of the court and how we control our side. What
are the keys to slowing down their offense?
Yeah, again, we haven't talked much about how we're going to go into this match and what we're going to do, but it's the same thing we do at every match. Every single team in the Big Ten has some very awesome hitters and some people who we are going to need to stop, so we're just going to have to read well and put up some great blocks.
You talked earlier this season about what Melanie means to your growth this year.
Mm-hmm.
I guess could you kind of reiterate that? And this is kind of winding down on her career here, like especially the last few matches at home, in the Big Ten. So talk about her impact.
Yeah, Melanie's great. She's awesome to play with, and I don't know if I'd be in this position that I'm in right now without her, just because she's always there for me and can always encourage me on and off the court. And like I said, we lived with each other, so we're with each other all the time, and I think that's also strengthened our relationship on the court.
You mentioned being able to play with anybody in the country. Do you draw any confidence from, number 2 can be the big bullet point for you guys to try and go and pull the upset there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you draw anything from the fact that you've already beaten the number 1 team in the country this year?
I mean, we know what we're capable of, and so I guess the number beside a team doesn't really show anything. It's just kind of because anyone can beat anyone in any moment, and we know that from experience, and so we just got to go in and take care of our business.
What's it going to be like playing against her?
Yeah, it's going to be different. It's going to be awesome to play against her and see what we can do.
Anything else for Julia?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
The last 2 matches, I know it wasn't indicative of you guys been playing. What did you learn?
I think I don't want to say it was a good thing for us, but at the end of the day, like, losing is just how you see it. I think obviously we didn't play well in either of the games in certain areas, so definitely showed us where we need to improve. I think the Washington game, we just had way too many errors, or else we probably would have been able to go 5 and make it work. But at the end of the day, the game told us we weren't good enough to win that game, so we lost in 4. I think the Oregon game, we came in and tried to kind of reset, and then they just had different they were just better at different things than Washington, and I feel like maybe we were kind of expecting the same thing, so we prepared a little bit for what we didn't prepare for in Washington, and then we got smacked in the mouth in a couple of different areas when we played Oregon that we just weren't able to kind of recover from, and I think it was just a hard weekend for us losing back-to-back games. I think we kind of didn't understand what was going on, especially because we haven't gotten swept a whole lot this year, so I think we kind of just got stuck kind of in the mud. But, I mean, we talked after the Oregon game as a team. We've obviously adjusted practice like we do every week for stuff that we need to get better at, so I guess we'll see.
Is there something to be said about when you play 2 teams for the first time, especially like Washington, and then now you're going to play Nebraska where there's some familiarity there, you've been in that environment, and everybody's going to expect you guys probably to lose to a team like that, but, I think the pressure's maybe a little bit off.
Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying. I think going into an environment like Nebraska, I like playing at Nebraska. It's a little bit different than playing somewhere like the Fieldhouse where it's like we're border battle rivals, so it's a little bit less hostile, I think. They're just there to see some good volleyball, so I think normally it's always a good game when we play them. I don't want to say we have like any expectations, just like for every game we go in and try and do our best, and we're kind of just trying to focus on our side and hopefully not make as many errors and kind of have a little bit smoother game going than the last 2 games we had. But I think we have the same intention with every game, even if we're going to play like someone that's not ranked and someone like Nebraska that's ranked 2nd. I think we just kind of have to try and keep the same mindset, or else it's going to be up and down roller coaster, I think, for the rest of the year. Yeah.
I think it was 22 at the end of the regular season when you guys went there and beat them, and I don't think they've lost at home since then. How much have you been thinking about that match leading up to this Thursday?
Oh, gosh. I don't think I've thought about that. I think I kind of forgot just because, I mean, at the end of the year, you kind of remember the wins and stuff, but you're trying to remember more of like the memories and the people you were there with. So I think it'll be fun. Last year we took them to 4 here, and it was a really good environment. And I think I think we got swept by them last year, like one of the first games we played them at the beginning of the year. But I think they're honestly just a really good team to play. They're really good at volleyball. The environment's really fun, like I already said. And a lot of the people are there just to see good volleyball. So we're going to try and do our best on our side to kind of give a good game, and anything can happen at the end of the day if we play good Gopher volleyball. So, yeah.
Is there a certain phase or aspect, win or lose in the game on Tuesday that you're like, or Thursday, that you're like, we have to be better in?
Yeah, we had 11 serving errors, so I would say probably less unforced errors, obviously. I know our serve receive could have been better. I don't want to speak too much on that just because like I've never been a part of serve receive, and I know it's really hard. It's probably the hardest part of the game. So, but I know our passers have been coming in and getting a lot of extra reps and staying after, and if they don't have class in the morning, they're coming in here individually and getting extra reps. So I know the whole team knows the focuses we have from the last couple games to get better at, and I know people are coming in here and working on them if it's individually or if we're staying after as a group together. So yeah, probably those two areas.
Did you kind of see it coming with Julia, the way she's playing? I know you live with her, and I know obviously she's kind of your go-to. But last year she was in a different role, and nobody. I mean, I want to see some people didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I think over the summer we went up to like a cabin, like me and her, and then Lauren and Elise, because they're my other two roommates. And I told her, because we had been doing like open gyms and stuff, and I was like, Julia, you're gonna be fine. Like you're gonna be really good, because she, like everyone else, worries about their position on the team or like taking a new position or a new role on the team. After I understand her position was like a serving sub randomly, or she played right side a little bit when he was here, but I think she's done a really good job taking it on. I think you can very much, you get to understand her personality a lot more when you play volleyball, and then I understand it a lot more just because I live with her and see her every day. But I think she owns it. I think she owns her mistakes, and I think she does a really good job when she's playing well, giving credit to a lot of other people. And then when it's not going so well, she is able to look at herself and be like, hey, this is what I need to do better. Like, I got you guys. So I think she's done a great job. I wouldn't say it was unexpected, because I've been seeing her in practice for the last 2 or 3 years. So like, I know she's a really great athlete. But now that she finally had like a chance to play, she's kind of ran with it. And I think it's been a great year for her. So.
At this point in the season, how do you guys talk about the postseason? Possibility of hosting, just like now kind of on the line. Do you guys talk about that?
I talk about it a little, just because obviously I'm leaving, so I would like to host the first 2 rounds of the tournament. So I'm kind of mentioning that to the team a little bit when we're playing games. After the Washington game, I kind of was just like, this can't happen if this is what we want to happen after like the next 6 matches of our season. And I don't think a lot of people remember that, just because there's a lot of people that aren't leaving in 45 days or whenever we're done, I'm leaving. So I remind people a lot, but as of right now, we're kind of just focusing on like one game at a time. But it's hard to do that when you know the end is coming. So that's probably what I've been working on, is just the next game, focus on the next game, and try and help people for what they need for that game. And then if I have a little bit of time to say something that could help us in 6 games, I'll say it. But if it's not the right moment, I won't. But just every once in a while, I kind of remind people. But I don't think it's a very big focus like from our coaches, because they understand we have a hard end of the Big Ten season. So I think we're just focused on game by game.
Anything else from Melanie?
Cool. Thanks, guys.